Hello everyone, I'm Salman Sadiq Shubho, a PhD student in University of South Florida. I'm going to present our work, a deep reinforcement learning based cost benefit analysis for hospital capacity planning. My co-authors are MD Rubel Ahmed, Hassan Saimoum, and my supervisor Dr. Yasin Elmas. All of us belong to University of South Florida. So in this presentation, I will first introduce the problem of hospital capacity expansion. Then I will show our MDP model. Then I will discuss the DeepRL based optimal policy. I will show our case study for the Tampa Bay region. I will discuss the benefits and limitations of our approach, and I will conclude my presentation. This map shows the number of hospital beds per 1000 people. The darker regions like the Russia and the European countries means there is more hospital beds per 1000 people, like 5.98 per 1000 people, whereas the lighter regions means there is less number of hospital beds. For example, for America, it falls within the 1.88 to 3.4 number of hospital beds per 1000 people category. This data has been taken from the World Bank database that receives data from World Health Organization. I accessed it on May 4, 2011. With population growth from 1970 to 2020, the per capita hospital bed has gone down in America. That means the capacity expansion has not been proportionate with the population increase, and at year 1970 it was 8 hospital beds per 1000 people, which is now only 2.9. This data is also taken from the World Bank dataset. And however, the number of 2.9 hospital bed per 1000 people in the United States is not uniform for all the states. For example, South Dakota has 4.7 beds per 1000 people, whereas California has only 1.8. Further requires the capacity expansion for specific regions. Furthermore, within a state, the hospital bed number capacity is not uniformly distributed. So within a state, some counties may seriously lag the number of hospital beds per 1000 people, and our goal is to identify those regions and make capacity expansion. So our contributions are, we are proposing a novel MDP model to define the optimal policy for hospital capacity expansion. Furthermore, a DeepRL algorithm to minimize the cumulative cost for a finite time horizon. And I have also done a comprehensive case study for the Tampa Bay area. So this is our MDP model, where the healthcare authority for an area is the agent that chooses any region within its environment to make capacity expansion. For that, it has to go through some cost, and this capacity expansion changes the state of our MDP model. I'm going to explain the MDP model further in the later slide. So the first element, the state of our MDP model, is constituted of the hospital capacity BT and population PT for all the n number of regions under the health authority. Furthermore, the population of each region has further subgroups, further age-based subgroups. So for example, in our simulations we have used 4 age groups population for each region that we determine for different age people. So the MDP agent takes an action AT, that selecting a region for expansion. So for n regions, it has n plus 1 number of possible actions. So after it has taken action, if it has chosen the nth state, n region, then the capacity of the nth region will go up. So it will be nt plus 1 should be previous capacity bnt plus del b. Del b is the augmentation size, another important parameter. For the other regions, the capacity will remain same. However, the population will increase, and it will not be controlled by the MDP agent. So the cost of this MDP model, we need to generate the untreated patients. For that, we will generate the number of hospital beds required for a particular day in the nth region as RNT by a Poisson distribution, where lambda is the Poisson mean, that is a function of the population that we will discuss in our experimental setup in the case study. So if the number of required beds is RNT and it is more than the capacity, then there will be some patients untreated, and that will create cost to the MDP agent for that nth region. So that cost will be the number of untreated patients times beta. That is a monetary value that converts the number of untreated patients to a cost that is in USD. So if the number of capacity BNT is higher than the number of bed required, then there will be no cost for that region. So the cost due to untreated patients for all the regions is summed up, and it is called the denial of service cost for our MDP agent at time t. The MDP agent also makes augmentation. So implementing capacity expansion will take required investment money, and that we set as alpha. That is the cost for delta B number of hospital beds augmentation. So the total cost for at time step t for the agent is the augmentation cost plus the denial of service cost, that is because of the untreated patients. So in the optimal policy, the MDP agent tries to minimize the expected cost, CT, the previously explained cost, with the discount factor gamma for all the time steps. So it can determine the optimal policy by solving the Bellman equation in this figure, where the value of a particular state can be determined by the expected immediate cost plus future discounted cost for the future state by the optimal action. As the number of states are very high, like for there is subgroup of population and there is different regions, so it's a high dimensional problem. So we need deep reinforcement learning to correlate the state and Q values. For that, we have an actor network that takes action based on the state, and the critic network tries to estimate the Q value for every state, and it gives it feedback to the actor network if it has reduced the cost or not. That guideline is used to update the actor network and critic network to obtain the optimal policy. This is the pseudocode for our algorithm. At the beginning, we initialize the discount factor, learning rate, number of regions, and number of episodes. Then we initialize the weights of our actor network and the critic network. Then at the beginning of the episode, we initialize the healthcare state, that is the initial population and initial bed capacity. Then for time steps and for every region and for every day, we generate the number of untreated patients and cost, the denial of service cost from it. Then at the next time step, we select an action and calculate the total cost. Then we store the transitions. Then these transitions are used to update the critic network and the actor network through backpropagation. In the case study, we select Tampa Bay area for our case setup, which is a urban area in the Florida state, and we have considered 7 counties that constitute the Tampa Bay region: Hernando, Pasco, Pinellas, Manatee, Sarasota, Hillsborough, and Polk County. So we have the population data for all the 7 counties for the year 2020 to 2019, and we also know the number of hospital beds required for weekdays and weekends. We can see the number of hospital bed requirement for weekdays are higher compared to weekends. So that's why we need a model to that can accommodate both weekdays and weekends. So given the population data and the number of hospital bed usage for year 2010 to 2017, I used a regression model to fit the data, and I found that tree regression model does best with 95% accuracy. So this regression model will be used to generate the future hospital bed requirement based on the future population that we get from the source for the next 30 years. So we are going to compare our DeepRL based policy with two myopic policies. The first one is the per capita based policy that sets a threshold for per capita and increases capacity if any region's capacity is less than the per capita threshold. On the other hand, complaint based policy looks at how many complaints have been received for each region, and if the maximum number of complaints for any region is higher than a threshold, then that region is still being selected for capacity expansion. Furthermore, we need some parameters to determine our case study, and we set delta B equals to 120 hospital bed capacity. That means if a region is selected for expansion, we include 120 beds to its existing setup. That is a typical nursing home capacity size. The cost of adding 120 hospital beds is 100 million USD, and cost of not attending a patient is 0.5 million USD. All of these parameter values we have done from literature review and research. So this is our neural network. So for every county there will be different age groups population and the hospital bed capacity. So these are the five for 4 age groups. There will be 5 inputs for every region, and there is 7 regions, so there will be 35 inputs, followed by 12, 120 and 48 neuron hidden layers. And for critic network there will be only one output, and for actor network there will be n plus 1, that is 7 counties plus 1, 8 number of output of selecting any of the county. We have seen that our algorithm converges within 500 episodes and it minimizes the total cost. So in comparison, our DeepRL based policy outperforms the per capita based and complaint based policy in both in reducing cost in for 30-year timeline and also number of unattended patients for the timeline. We can see that our DeepRL based policy in a 30-year timeline cost around 2 billion USD compared to 2.4 billion USD for complaint based and more than 4 billion USD for per capita based policy. And also in number of untreated patients for the 30-year timeline, our DeepRL based policy keeps the number less than 20,000. The others are around 30,000 or more than 30,000. So our DeepRL based policy with its knowledge about population can make the expansion plan better than the other two. That is the highlight of the work. So there is some advantage in our approach. We have utilized the age segregated populations because different age group, then the necessity of hospital bed per capita is different. We have utilized it, and we have considered demand for weekdays and weekends separately. Furthermore, we have provided a dynamic data-driven policy for a longer period. There are some limitations in our approach. We may have missed some critical factors to predict the hospital bed requirements. And this works assumes a fixed cost for alpha and beta for all regions. That may not be realistic, because for rural area, for 120 bed capacity expansion can be cheaper compared to urban area. Furthermore, we assume that one region's patient does not seek medical help from a neighboring region. That also limits our scope. So here I conclude my work that we have proposed a MDP formulation to cost benefit analysis for augmentation plans for a particular geographic region. We have used the state of the art DPRL framework to find the optimal policy for the Tampa Bay region. And we have shown the success of our proposed policy that outperform the MAPIC policies. Thank you for your time.